Hello there, and welcome to Collage Tip Tuesday with my Collage Art Studio. Today I'm going to show you a super fun way to create a simple template in Pages that'll help you design and test out typed quotes for your mini collages. Whether it's your monthly intentions, favorite inspirational quotes, or quirky little messages, we'll make them look amazing and perfectly sized for your projects. This is all about adding personality and creativity to your collages while having fun with fonts. If you enjoy this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you'll never miss a tip. Let's jump in. The first thing that you'll want to do is to open a new Pages document. So we're going to go here and click New. I'm going to choose Blank and Create. So now what I want to do is go to this zoom box here, and I'm going to click Fit Page. That way we'll be able to see the entire page on our computer screen. Next, I like to choose Show Layout. This is going to show us where we can type within the document. The other thing I like to view is the rulers. So I'm going to go ahead and show rulers. So we're going to have a ruler across the top and along the side. If you don't see this side ruler here, you can go up to Pages, choose Settings, click Rulers here, and then you want to make sure that this box is checked, the Show Vertical Ruler whenever rulers are shown. If it's unchecked, that ruler is going to disappear, and if it's checked, it's going to reappear. So now what we want to do is go over to this Documents tab here, and we're going to get rid of this header up here, this footer, and we're going to change the margins within our document. So we're going to click Header off, Footer off. So now we just have the body of our document here, and we want to decrease the margin size to 1/4 inch on each side. What I'm trying to do is just increase the amount of space that we can use to type. Now what I want to do is choose Format here, choose Layout, and I want to choose 2 columns. So now we have a document with 2 columns. If you look to the left of the columns, you should see this arrow here. Click it, and then what you want to do is change the column width to 3.5 inches. This is what I found to be a nice size for the 4x4 inch mini collages. Before we move on, you'll want to make sure that you save your document. I'm going to call this my mini collage quotes template. The next thing I'm going to do is type my emotion and my intention. What I want to see here is style. So I can choose my font. I can choose the size of my font as well. I'm going to go ahead and click this. And the first thing I want to do is just scroll through all the fonts. The goal is to come up with 5 fonts that I want to test out for this first part of the lesson. So I'm just scanning to see what I want to start with. And I'm going to choose this one here, American Typewriter. I'm going to type my word, which is my emotion, then return twice. Actually, I'm going to return once and then write my intention is ... to dream big and have faith in the process, period. So what we want to do is we want to increase the size here so that it's as close to 3.5 in width as possible without going over. And the best thing to do is to highlight these two lines, go over to the size of the font here and increase it until this last word here gets kicked over to a new line. So I'll show you. I'm going to go up, up, up. Now process is on a new line, so I'm going to go down 1. So this is as close to 3.5 as I can get for this font. Now I want to go up to my word, and I'm going to increase this because this is going to be highlighted on my collages. I want it to be a little bit bigger. The next thing that I want to do is to scan this and consider that it's going to be printed on a page. Can I get my scissors in between the lines of this text? And what I'm seeing here is no, I really don't think that I'm going to be able to cut there and have a nice white edge. So I'm going to highlight that. Okay, so highlight that. Go down to spacing lines, and I'm going to increase that until I visually see that I can cut between it. Now I'm going to look between faith and my intention and decide the same thing. Can I cut? Would I want larger white borders when I cut? So I do want a little bit more space between faith and my. I'm gonna go ahead and highlight that and do the same thing. Just increase the size. So there we have it, our first emotion and intention in the American typewriter font with the size exactly how we want it. So now what I want to do is try to find 4 more styles that I like just to test them out. So I'm going to highlight this, go up to edit, choose copy, and you can actually copy just using the keyboard with Command C. Then go to the end of this line, return, and then paste, which is Command V, but you can do it up here as well, paste. Now I'm going to go ahead and choose another font. So I'm going to scroll through my fonts again, looking for something that I like. Maybe I want to choose a font that is all uppercase, like this copper plate. I'm going to choose that. And when I look at this, the last word already jumped to another line. So what I want to do is highlight this and go down until it's all, that process is back on the previous line. So 1, just down to 12 points, and there it is. And I'm going to look at this. Is this the right size that I want? I'm going to just go a little bit bigger. And can I cut between those? I might want to increase the space just a little bit. So just scanning. I'm going back to this one. I might want to go just a little bit more. Okay. So to the end of this line, we're going to return twice. And I'm going to paste again. We should still have the original one copied, so just paste. And there it is. And let's go ahead and choose another font. I'm going to look for a font that is more of like a fun, like chalk dust, or like a written font. And right away I can see that process is here on this line, so I want to choose all of this and go down until process is in one line. And for faith, I want this a little bit smaller to match up with this. Oops, I didn't mean to go down on that one. Okay, so this is as close as we can get. Let me just try again. So right there, it just goes to another line. So this is a little bit tiny, but I think this will be still good for the mini collages. And I'm going to just scan it. Can I cut in between? And yeah, I should be able to. With that the Y coming down there, I might need a little bit more space. Oops, I didn't mean to do that. I meant to go down to the lines here and just increase that. So this one, because this Y goes down into it, I wanted to give myself a little bit of space, whereas the Y here and here don't go down as far. Now I'll go to the end of this line, go return, return, paste, and there we have it again. And let's try out another font. The next font I want to look for is more of like a cursive, like a written font. And I'm just scanning, maybe even this round hand one. So that's a nice one. And looking at the lines here, I feel like I can get bigger and get closer to 3.5. So I'm going to go up, up, up till process gets to the next line. And then I'm going to go down 1 for the size. So it fits just so. For Faith, I want this a little bit larger because I want it to stand out. So that's good. And then decide if I want this all lowercase or maybe I want to do an uppercase F here. And I like that better for this. Okay, so let's do one more with this size here. I'm going to go Command V to paste that, and I'm going to choose one more font style. So clicking here, something else that looks interesting. There's a lot of great fonts. Maybe this one here. Okay, so this one, I can see the process ended up on the next line. I'm going to go down a size there. I just did that. And I do see that I want to increase the amount of space between the lines. So I'm going to go ahead down here to the lines and then click that, increasing the space between. And I'm going to do the same for this. I'm going to increase the space between those lines. And I think I'm going to increase the size of this. Not the lines. Oops. What I wanted to do is increase the size of the font there. So maybe to that. There we go. So there we have it. We have our first 5 typed emotions and intentions so that we can fit these right onto our mini collage. The next thing that I want to do is to create these larger so that we can use them in a different way in our mini collages. So I'm going to the end of the line here and I'm going to push return until I get up to that second column. And there I am. What I'm going to do is paste the same quote that we've been working on. And I want to go larger. So instead of, what I could do is just do this and increase it. But what's happening here is that it's not really, as I increase it, it's choosing its next line, and it's not really in the way that I would like it. And what I mean is, my intention is to dream big and have is on one line, and then faith in the process. I think this would be better visually if I decide where I want to break up this second sentence, to dream big and have faith in the process. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the original one back and decide where I want to have a natural break in the second line. And I think where I want it is between and have. So I'm going to get right in front of have, go back a space, push return, so that's on the next line. And now I'm going to enlarge the font. So I'm highlighting this, going here to the size, and I'm going to enlarge it so that it'll be as close to 3.5 without going over. To do that, I want to go bigger and then down 1. So there we are. And then I want to come back up here and increase faith. So that's nice and large there. I'm going to copy this, go to the end of that line, hit return twice, paste that. Now I could go ahead and use some of the same fonts I did here. So if I want to do chalk duster, I can do that. Or I could go ahead and choose some different fonts. So right here, we can see that's not how we decided to break up the lines. It's moved on to another line there. So if you remember, we're going to highlight this and we're going to start going down till it fits. And there we go. And Faith, I think I want to go a little bit smaller. So I'm going to go there. Again, we want to scan everything to make sure that we can cut in between. If we want to make sure we have larger spaces, we'll highlight that text, go down to the spacing lines, and we can increase or decrease. So let's get to that end of the line. Click return twice. Let's paste, Control V, and pick one more font. So we're going to highlight this entire thing and see if we can find another font that we want to check out. And I'm going to choose the marker felt. I don't think I used it in this document. So here again, we're going to choose the text down here. We're going to enlarge it until process goes to the next line. And then I'm going to go down one. And then I'm going to decide if I want Faith all in lowercase, if I want uppercase. And I think I like the upper case. So let's just see between them. So yes, I like the uppercase, but just as a thought, since we're going to be cutting out these individually, so I'm going to cut out Faith, then I'm going to cut out the next line, and then the next line, etc. I could sneak in another one here just to test it out. So I could do the same for each of these. Do both the upper and lower so that when I'm cutting, I can choose then. So all across, I'll have that option. This one is uppercase only font, so there actually is no way to do a lowercase there, but I'll move on to the others and test them out. Not loving that. I just want to make sure I got the I right. So that I can't quite read, but we'll see. This one here is also an uppercase only font, so there's no way to do lowercase. So that's another way to do it. Just have a couple different options right next to each other. And that's it. So I hope you enjoyed this lesson, and I'm going to go ahead and print this out and we can take a look at it there. So I'm going to go up to File, Print, and it all fits on one page as we know, and I'm going to hit the print button. I'm jumping back over to the computer now because I want to make sure that I save my document here. So I'm going to click it here, or you could do Command S. And I can save this, I already named this as my template, so I can save it just like this, but I think what I'm going to do is duplicate this. I'm going to rename this Faith. So many collage quotes Faith. So this is going to be my Faith document, and I'm going to jump back over here, and I'm going to empty all of these out, everything I wrote. And this will be my template. So anytime I want to create more quotes, more inspirational messages, I can open this, recreate something, save it as a new document, just as I showed you there. All right, so let's move on over to the craft space and take a look at the document that I just printed. And here's our Pages document printed. So I'm going to show you some collages that I've already worked on using this system for creating the lettering. So here's one where I use the larger ones across the whole collage. Here's one that I did with the smaller one. So I put the small word up there and the intention down here. And here's another one where I just added the large word just on this collage. So hopefully this gives you some really good ideas for adding your favorite quotes, your favorite messages onto your collages. Thank you for joining me today.